Hello everyone and welcome to Albuquerque, New Mexico, home to the Sandia Peak Tramway since 1966, home of tonight's Western Conference showdown between the Black and Yellow of New Mexico United and their rivals from up north, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. Now Chris, both of these teams coming off 6-goal shootouts in the midweek. It was league play for Switchbacks as they took on Las Vegas Lights. For New Mexico, it was a friendly against FC Juarez.
Yeah, late equalizer for Switchbacks midweek, and the drama of the friendly, which wasn't really a friendly, let's say, with FC Juarez as well for New Mexico United, but both looking to make an impact on a very, very big game in league standings tonight.
Let's go ahead and jump into the matchup here tonight with our players to watch presented by Toyota. For New Mexico, it's Alex Tambakis in his 5th season with the club. Comes in with 47 career clean sheets, over 200 USL Championship regular season appearances. On the other side, for Switchbacks, it is the goal-scoring machine, Ronaldo Damas. 7 goals so far in 14 appearances. The former San Diego Loyal man, where he scored 15 goals, and he won the 2019 USL League One Golden Boot, Chris.
Yeah, Tambakis didn't play midweek against FC Juarez, rested, and Chris Shakes took over and deputised admirably, I'd say, saving a PK as well. 3 clean sheets so far for Tambakis in the 13 games so far, league games so far, and he'll have a tough job tonight adding to that total with the attacking prowess of the Switchbacks. On the other side, the Damas, second loan spell from Sweden. Last year, as you said, he was with San Diego Loyal. 15 goals in 32 appearances, already 7 in 15 this year. Obviously, I'm sure New Mexico United have spent a bunch of time this week working out how they're going to stop this guy.
This one's going to be a ton of fun here this evening. The 2024 New Mexico United season is presented by Sandia Resort and Casino. Close to home, far from ordinary. We'll be back on the other side of this with lineups and kickoff.
Win on 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I told the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm Tulip. Bitch said that I'll be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it.
Pride on the pitch night here at the Lab. Tonight's match brought to you by CNM, New Mexico's largest and premier community college. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups here tonight, brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Positive outcomes for every New Mexican. Speaking of New Mexicans, This is how the black and yellow are coming out tonight here, Chris. Just 3 players that started the midweek clash against FC Juarez. Also starting tonight, it's Greg Hurst, Zico Bailey, and Sergio Rivas.
Yeah, completely new back line after the midweek game. Great to see Zico Bailey back from international duty, and also Greg Hurst. He's played the last couple of games in that hole just behind, in a 10 role, and he seems like he's much more effective at the top of the tree, so great to see him up there.
Now on the other side, for the visitors, James Chambers makes 5 changes from the side that drew with Las Vegas Lights. It's Matt Real, Zach Zandy, Yosuke Hanya, Malik Foster, and Ronaldo Damas all making their way into the 11 here tonight.
Yeah, and it took the subs midweek coming out the pitch where it was Damas who scored the tying goal in the dying minutes as well. So maybe try to rest them for the game Las Vegas, knowing that there was a lot of travelling this week. But yeah, no surprise in such a big game to see all the stars starting for Switchbacks.
These 2 familiar foes, as they've played over 15 times over the past 6+ seasons. It's New Mexico United versus Switchbacks here tonight. Crowd of about 10,000 expected here at the Lab. And Switchbacks in the center circle, ready to get things started. The visitors in their road blues. New Mexico, of course, in their home black and yellows. And we are underway here from the Lab in Albuquerque. So I mentioned very familiar when it comes to playing each other. All-time series tilts heavily in favor of New Mexico. The black and yellow owning 10 wins in this series. Switchbacks owning 4 wins. The sides only drawing once, Chris.
I mean, I hope you haven't spoken into existence there. Let's start with that. But yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing how much the teams have changed. And obviously, Switchbacks right now, Coach Quill talked about it in the press conference yesterday when they were announcing Jackson Dubois' professional contract signing. But he mentioned about the Switchbacks are probably the form team in the entire USL Championship right now. So yeah, I'm not sure history of results is really going to have too much bearing on today.
Off the Fiesta Auto free kick, Switchbacks looked like they had something cooking up there. The ball's cleared by the New England native. It's Harry Swartz. Harry Swartz making his 81st USL Championship appearance tonight for the black and yellow. Ball's back at his feet. Swartz goes down, draws the foul. And New Mexico with a great opportunity here just 90 seconds into the match. That's going to give us time for our keys to the match here, presented by Garcia Automotive Group. These will be for New Mexico. Defend the Lab, get the first big chance, and finish the halves. New Mexico, talk about defending the Lab, Chris. Coming into tonight, a perfect record here at home when it comes to league play. 5 wins, capturing all 15 out of a possible 15 points here at Friendly Confines.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable start at home, and I think that's maybe been some of the frustration in previous seasons, has been, nicknamed the Road Warriors and doing so well on the road and forced to play many of the games on the road, obviously in the 2020 season, playing one of their home games at Colorado Springs. But making this place a fortress and getting the crowd behind them has been a huge part of their success early on this season.
Fiesta Auto free kick. Micheletto's going to leave this for Greg Hurst. Here's the Scotsman. He sends that sailing into the supporters section. Greg Hurst, he's been in form lately, Chris, to say the least. Scored again last weekend in Memphis. 87th minute goal for New Mexico. That was his 6th of the season. He is the leading scorer for this football club.
Yeah, he's had a great start of the season. And, you can just say that I had a chance to watch a little bit of training this week as well, and just the confidence is just oozing out of not just Greg Hurst, but I'd say the team as well, But, yeah, Hurst definitely on a bit of a tear and maybe a little frustrated going in and out of the team last year. He's been Coach Quill's go-to guy so far this season.
When you talk about last year and how he was in and out of the side, he made 34 appearances, which by my count, I believe that's every single USL Championship match he appeared in. But only 16 of those were starts. He scored 4 goals, as we mentioned. He's already on 6 this season, and so you can tell just what getting those consistent starts will do for a player.
And especially a forward. Like that's one thing with attacking players. If a coach or a team shows faith in a forward. It gives them that extra step of speed, that extra confidence to take on shots that namely they wouldn't in the past. So I'm sure he's playing with that on his shoulders as well.
It's Nanan Hosu, so tidy in tight spaces. The Ivory Coast native was acquired from Loudoun back in February. I don't see it too often in this league. Teams purchasing a player from another on a transfer fee, and that's exactly what happened with Nanan Hosu. And you can see exactly why, Chris. He's found his spot in the team.
He just gives the team such a good balance. He just sits in the hole. The sixth role is so important and just knits things together. Good on the ball and really disciplined defensively.
Quick look at our Ben Sherman Law injury report. Injured at work, Ben Sherman can help. It's Christian Nava. As we know, he will be out long-term, re-injuring the ACL earlier this season. So this a free kick here for Switchbacks. It's Speedy Williams to send this one in, and sends that one over the goal of Alex Tambakis. 5 minutes gone by here at the lab. Christian Herrera, 6'7", Chris. It's Christian Herrera. So he sticks a boot through it. That's going to give us time for this 5:29 game update, brought to you by the Education Plan. That's New Mexico's state-sponsored 529 plan. Give your kids a better and brighter future. Learn more at theeducationplan.com. Zico Bailey looking to lead the break here for New Mexico. Finds the Albuquerque native, Sergio Rivas. He's got the run from Abdi Muhammad. Instead goes to Hosu. Looking for the ball over the top to Micheletto, and instead it finds the waiting arms of Christian Herrera.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're going to see tonight with Zico Bailey back in the squad. That releases Marco Micheletto just to play a little higher. He was having to play that hold'em, that six role, while Zico was away on international duty. So you can see Marco just playing a little higher now, just behind Greg Hurst.
Comes back to Herrera, New Mexico, with some press, and Hosu, his header finds the feet of the Jamaican Williams. Maples. Just pokes that forward. Fans, mark your calendars. Coming up on Wednesday, June 26th, Birmingham Legion FC travels north to the Motor City to take on Detroit City FC in an Eastern Conference clash at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. That's a look at Eric Quill. Third head coach in club history, and his first full season, of course, came in June of last season. It was around this time, actually, Chris, that he took over, and he was able to really build the roster to his liking over the offseason. And lo and behold, his club had been sitting in first place in the Western Conference for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, I think there was a noticeable difference as soon as he walked through the door, but it was a squad that was assembled by someone else, and he's definitely put his mark on the team. And Zico Bailey and Nicky Hernandez were two of the mid-season signings as soon as he came through the door last year, and they are mainstays in the team right now. I think maybe Hernandez is maybe carrying a little knock. He hasn't been in the squad recently anyway. It looks like he's on the bench tonight, so hopefully he's coming back from that. But yeah, I mean the weird thing is, obviously, New Mexico United sitting top of the West on a -1 goal differential right now. Don't see that very often.
New Mexico looking to get something going here. Yeah, you mentioned that -1 goal differential, and you look at the other side for Switchbacks, Chris, and got to talk about the form that they've been in recently. They started off winless in their first 5. In fact, dropping 5 consecutive. Since then, they've gone 9 straight unbeaten. They're +3 in goal differential, sitting 5th in the West coming into this one today. Here's Damas. You know what he's capable of. Has that poked away by Zico Bailey. But you look at this Switchbacks team, and that's a look at their head coach. It's James Chambers. They went through a run, Chris, where they were 5 consecutive wins and only conceding 1 goal, and then you look at their last 2 games and they conceded 5 goals.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. It's a funny old game, right? But yeah, 9 games undefeated. The last time they tasted defeat, April 13th against Phoenix Rising. It was a 1-0 loss. Since then, unblemished. 6 wins, 3 ties. So it's been a heck of a run that they've been on.
Corner here for Switchbacks. Sent back post. Williams gets a touch to it, and it's cleared out by Sergio Rivas. Speedy Williams, 36 caps for the Reggae Boys. He's scored once for his country. Spent the last couple of seasons in Colorado Springs. Prior to that, spent some time in Miami, Louisville City, New York Red Bulls 2 even. Approaching the 250 league appearance mark is Speedy Williams. Foul going to be called against Harry Swartz.
Both teams just struggling to find any kind of rhythm right now. That was a little untidy by Mexico United. It was like Malcolm Micheletto and Hosu just kind of getting in each other's way. Ball bounced to Gloucester. He didn't think the defender was going to miss it. I think it was Rocha and missed it. And then Harry Schwartz giving away the free kick. Just a bit of a ugly first few minutes here, opening segment, just while both teams try to find their feet.
Abdi Mohamed able to head that away initially. Back to Duke Lacroix. Lacroix of Haiti. The offside flag goes up on Damas. Swartz able to flick this one on. Gloucester has plenty of space. Hurst is in the box. Gloucester, and just out of reach for the Scotsman, Greg Hurst. It'll be a throw-in down here at the near corner.
That's a couple of times now that the ball's been played kind of long and in the air up to Harry Swartz, and he's beaten Santos, the right back for Switchbacks there. He's beaten him twice in a row now, and Gloucester took a risk and just ran beyond him. Found a ton of space, just got the final ball wrong. You can see Greg Hurst showed like he was going to come short and then try to drift into the middle, but just too much on the cross.
Nicoletto is looking to connect there with Harry Swartz. It's going to be a throw-in for New Mexico. Got some score updates here for you. Of course, sure if you're a New Mexico fan, you're probably keeping an eye on the one all the way at the bottom there. As that ball cleared away by Rocha. 38th minute, Tulsa and Sac Republic goalless as we are here in Albuquerque. Hosu connects here with Abdi Mohamed. Mohamed's second attempt finds Hurst. His shot blocked by Mahoney. Switchbacks looking to open up the scoring, and that one goes high. It was Yosuke Hanya.
See early on the pace there of Foster. The Switchbacks managed to, little wall pass, just springs them in behind and puts a vicious ball in hard and low. Tambakis can't really get to it, can't really touch. Defenders don't really want to touch it in case it's going to go in the back of the net as well, and an own goal. And enough pressure on Hanya just which forces him to put it over the bar.
Osu connects here with Marco Micheletto. The ball just got to Sergio Rivas in an awkward position. Santos gets it right back. Here's Rocha. Looking for Damas. Connects on the through ball. Damas, and what a save from Tambakis.
That's a huge warning shot there for New Mexico United. You saw how quickly Damas was onto the ball there, and Maples just kind of got lost him in his blind spot. He was just playing off his shoulder, looking to get him behind, and Switchbacks managed to spring him. Great goalkeeping by Tambakis, so quickly off his line to close the angle.
A look at the current weather conditions here in Albuquerque. Only 78 degrees. It's been cloudy. It rained a little bit here today. Humidity fairly high for what we're used to, and you can really feel it down there, Chris.
It's funny when other people will probably be thinking 50% isn't really humid, but for us desert dwellers down here, it is sticky.
So a Fiesta Auto free kick here for Switchbacks. Looking to restart quickly there with Malik Foster. He's no stranger to scoring goals against New Mexico from his time in Sacramento. Actually scored against New Mexico in the postseason to end their season just a couple years ago. Swartz goes down and the foul is called.
There's that ball again. Since I mentioned it, that's the second as well. So there's been 4, maybe even 5 times New Mexico United trying to look for that big diagonal. Maybe they've spotted something in the scouting report where they're picking on Santos basically, and Harry Swartz seems to have his number, and he's won all of them. And that's the one that he didn't win, but obviously it was a foul. So maybe Santos is getting a little sick of being targeted here.
Talon Maples, he has played every single minute of league play for New Mexico this season. He's the only player to do so. Zico Bailey was right there with him, however, missed some time due to international duty recently. What a ball here to Gloucester. Chests it down and hits the cross right at Herrera. Chris Gloucester out of Montclair, New Jersey. Previously with New York City FC. Played 90 minutes last weekend against Memphis. Did not see the pitch in the midweek against FC Juarez. He's another one, Chris, that has just become a regular.
Yeah, he's made that spot his own, right? And I'd say today it's, again, that left side for New Mexico United. He is playing about 15, 20 yards higher than I've seen him play recently.
Harry Swartz is down.
I think he got a shoulder, a nice Charlie horse on his quad there. I think it was... we mentioned earlier on about how big Herrera is, and I think he tried to leapfrog him, but couldn't quite manage it. Certainly quick off his line there, Herrera. And yeah, you can see just his left shoulder right on his quad. That'll be sore tomorrow morning for sure.
Swartz, and that's really the way that he plays the game. It's 110% at all times. The last time these two sides played each other was actually right here at the lab, Chris, and it was almost a year ago to the date. It was June 24th of last summer. It was a 2-1 win for the black and yellow. Armando Moreno opened up the scoring, followed by Daniel Bruce for New Mexico. Kalen Ryden, by way of an own goal, gave one back to Switchbacks in the 71st minute, and that was it. as both home teams won in last season's matchups 2-1, both occasions. Gloucester looked to have taken an elbow there, and he goes down. Play stopped. Happened right in front of the Switchbacks technical area. The fourth official as well. Well, we've got a second. Let us tell you to tune in to ESPN2 on Friday, July 5th for a USL Championship showdown between Eastern Conference rivals Charleston Battery and Birmingham Legion FC at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's ESPN2, Friday, July 5th. If you've been a fan of this rivalry over the years, you know exactly what's going on here. But if you're new to the party, we'll be happy to explain right after this as Zandy comes away with this one. Down goes Zandy. Zico Bailey committing the foul. And so a free kick coming up here for Switchbacks. And so if you're curious why the crowd suddenly started cheering, this is a tradition that's called the Magic Minute. It was started back in 2019. It was actually an idea from the first head coach and technical director in club history, Troy Lassane. And they started at the 19-minute, 12-second mark, and that's to signify when New Mexico was officially recognized as a state. And they stop at the 20-minute, 18-second mark, and that is to signify when New Mexico United were founded as a club.
So it wasn't that Chris Gloucester wasn't hurt.
I'm sure they'll be cheering that on as well. Gloucester, as we mentioned, important part here. So look at our officials here tonight. That's Corbin May running the show. Fernando Fierro, James Ewer, our ARs. Charlie Delgadillo, the fourth official. It's going to go all the way back to Herrera as Rivas gives chase. I think Herrera has drawn the ire of New Mexico United fans for Harry Swartz going down. Gloucester finds Hosu. Gloucester again. There's that diagonal ball you were talking about there, Chris. They just keep going to that over and over.
Yeah, and like I say, Gloucester, it's a little game of cat and mouse right now. Again, he's playing so high, and that's one of Switchback's danger, man. And you can see Zico Bailey, Marco Micheletto almost cheating to the left-hand side, covering both Harry Swartz and Chris Gloucester as well, allowing them to just bomb on forward. So it's definitely a tactic that they've decided to try and pick at tonight.
Herbert able to connect with Swartz. Back to Micheletto. There they go on that ball once again. Greg Hurst loses possession. Here's Zandy. Looking for the through ball. Able to connect with Foster, and that just shows the speed from Malik Foster. He goes down. The official not interested. Great defending there from Talon Maples.
Yeah, took the words right out of my mouth there. That was great defending, because I tell you what, pace-wise, I'm not sure that's a matchup that Maples wants to happen too often tonight. Foster definitely had the legs on it, but Maples just leant into him a little bit. Just a little bit of pressure on his shoulder. And I think Malik Foster was just a little too easy to go down there, but it's another warning shot. The pace and the counter-attack there going forward. And again, it's Switchback's right side, New Mexico United's left side. That's where all the action is right now. As I say, Mohamed, how many times have we said his name? Sergio Rivas, who's the one little burst into the box. Greg Hurst is struggling to find the game right now as well. All of the action Well, Herbert's pinged some of the big diagonals, but in terms of defensively, it's been a little quieter. So that side of the field's definitely where it's all kicking off right now.
Real trying to head that one on. Gloucester, what a touch from Harry Swartz. Can he get back on the end of it? Down goes Swartz. Great challenge from Mahoney.
What a tackle that was. That's it. What a touch by Harry Swartz, and then what a tackle. Two great pieces of play, individual play there.
Looking for Thomas there, and that one cut out by Maples. Yeah, that touch there from Harry Swartz, just sublime. That's perhaps one of the best touches you might see tonight. Here comes Abdi Mohammed. He's got options. He's got Hurst and Swartz. Goes back for Rivas. Rivas goes to ground twice, able to retain possession. Micheletto. Rivas. Back to Zico now. Hurst with the dummy, and it rolls on out of play. It's going to be a goal kick here for Christian Herrera.
The game's starting to settle down a little bit now. New Mexico United territory-wise, certainly, I wouldn't say dominant, but in terms of where the game's being played, it's definitely being played in the Colorado Switchbacks half right now, but you can just see how dangerous Switchbacks are going to be on the counter-attack all evening.
New Mexico back in possession. It's the Albuquerque native, Sergio Rivas. Rivas, he's been dealing with quite a few injuries this year. He's worked his way back into the lineup. In fact, making his first start since April. It's Rivas looking for Hurst. Herbert now going to be tasked with handling Malik Foster. Swartz. 27th minute here at the Lab. Western Conference showdown here between high-flying Switchbacks and top of the West New Mexico United. Tyler Ortega joined by Chris Hurst. What is the 16th installment between these two clubs? Herbert finds Rivas. Great touch there from Hosu, and finds the feet of Mahoney.
You can see that New Mexico United really starting to find their feet there. The movement of Greg Hurst there. He just knew the pass was going to come to him eventually, even though it was probably 3 passes before that final ball was going to happen. And defensive Switchbacks holding firm so far, but New Mexico seem to be finding their feet and finding their groove.
Let's take a look at these Western Conference standings coming into today. Things very jumbled up there, and of course the top 4 is what you're looking for. That's where you're going to be able to host a home playoff match for New Mexico. Looking to capture that for the first time in club history, Chris.
Yeah, you got to imagine that would be a huge, huge advantage. Feel like it's been Sac Republic away every year that New Mexico United have made it. I know that's not true, but that always seems to be the thing. And just noticing, obviously, Malik Foster, he wasn't getting much change out of the Maple side, so he's definitely switched onto the left-hand side now.
Here's Santos. Well, you talked about Sac away in the playoffs. Now, let's just give you a brief history of New Mexico's short history as a club. 2019, of course, first season, lost in the play-in round at Sac, 2-1. 2020, of course, that was the COVID-shortened season where New Mexico actually won the first-round playoff match, then went to the second round, lost in PKs against El Paso. Lacroix has a go. That one blocked, falls to Lacroix again. Another big save from Tambakis. Still work to do defensively here for the black and yellow. Ball goes back in, looking for Damas. And the offside flag goes up.
Tell you what, 30 minutes in, and we're going to have a tough decision on what's going to be save of the night already, and we're only 30 minutes in. Tambakis definitely, we talked about him in the pre-game that he was going to be busy. 2 or 3 huge saves already tonight.
Tambakis coming into tonight had 30 saves in his 12 appearances. Down goes Rivas, gives the ball away. Here's Foster, cuts it back off his right foot. Another save from Alex Tambakis. Absolutely huge is the Greek goalkeeper here in the opening 30 minutes.
And you saw the first person to go up to congratulate him there was Sergio Rivas. Just gives the ball away, overcomplicates it in midfield. And there's Foster just cutting in on his right foot. We said he's drifted over to this left-hand side, so now he's trying to cut in on his right foot. Sticks a leg out Tambakis and keeps the clean sheet intact.
It's going to bring us to this Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Hello, crisp, refreshing taste. Hello, Topo Chico hard seltzer. This ball played in, back post. It's headed just wide. As you were saying, Chris, sack away. It's been sack away 3 out of 4 times that New Mexico have had their season ended, twice over the last 2 years. And Malik Foster is actually one of those 2 years.
Yeah, and he's looked very lively today so far. Damas not as there was that one through ball, but Malik Foster, I say he was on that right-hand side, and I'm sure Maples is not at all upset that he switched to the left-hand side, so you can maybe let Tony Herbert deal with him for a little bit, but he definitely looks lively tonight.
Swartz goes down, play on, says the official. Swartz still down. Looks like a Switchbacks player has gone down as well. So the training staff is going to come on and check on Harry Swartz. It looks like Santos was the Switchbacks player. He looks to be getting up a little gingerly, but he's up on his feet.
It's that battle that we've talked about a couple of times already, though, the Santos against Harry Swartz. And 2 times that Santos has maybe won the ball, it's been a foul, or at least in this case, an injury to Harry Swartz.
Great look at some of the families, some of the crowd here tonight at the lab. It's a beautiful evening, pride on the pitch night. There's Santos being looked at. Santos spent last year with Loudoun, 25 appearances there. Season before that with Charlotte Independence of League One, scored once in 20 appearances. Well, we've got some time. I'd love to let you know that the USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. You can catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. You got a couple hats like that, don't you, Chris?
I don't even know how to come back to that.
No comment says it all. Well, you're an American citizen. You've been a New Mexican, which I think that means you have to have a sombrero at one point. And this is not good news here if you're New Mexico United. Harry Swartz, whatever the issue was, it was bad enough for him to be subbed off here just 35 minutes in, and we're going to see A.O. Flanagan replacing him. So an early substitution here for Eric Quill. That substitution brought to you by the Somos Unidos Foundation. Positive outcomes for every New Mexican, and all these New Mexicans going to be hoping for a positive outcome for Harry Swartz. Through ball, looking for Mohamed. In goes the cross, and it's cut out by Lacroix. New Mexico still keeping pressure on. The shot from Rivas is blocked. Falls to Hosu. Zico now. Nicoletto unable to take that off the feet of Coa Santos. As the new substitute, A.O. Flanagan, called for the foul. It's got to be tough there for Flanagan to be called in on such short notice.
Yeah, most of the subs don't tend to warm up much in the first half at all, so I'm sure it was last minute. Just looking across at the bench, you can actually see in the screen right there, Harry Swartz, head in hands. I'm wondering if it was that dead leg, the Charlie horse that he got earlier on, if he just wasn't able to shake that off, or maybe he got caught again in that tackle. Oh, man. That ice on his head, that's not good. Hopefully it's not a concussion or anything like that, but yeah, sending best to Harry there.
You can see Mukwele Akale, Chris Shakes, sitting on the bench right next to him. This ball given away momentarily. Switchbacks come back into possession. And so we are hearing confirmation it was a concussion substitution for Harry Swartz. So good speculation there, Chris. Big thanks to our director, Stephen Williams, for getting us that information on the fly.
It is interesting that the coaching staff went for A.O. Flanagan rather than Mukwele. Possibly a little more disciplined defensively, but again, it's been that left-hand side that New Mexico United have been targeting. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how quickly Flanagan can get up to speed here, and Santos again has been picked on essentially for the entire first half here.
Here's Abdi Mohamed. Finds Zico. Rivas now. What a ball there for Mohamed. Mohamed was looking to tap that one to himself. And instead, it's Christian Herrera coming out to grab it. And just behind the goal, Harry Swartz gingerly making his way to the locker room. So, of course, we hope all is well there for the New England native Harry Swartz. Maples clears that one away. Hurst finds Micheletto. Back to Hurst. That attempt blocked there by Santos. Back to Hurst again.
That was a great tackle by Hosu there. He meant every single bit of that and won the throw in.
It was Yosuke Hanya that took the worst of that. Hanya, the 25-year-old, he's on loan from Rapids 2. He's got over 50 appearances there with Rapids 2. He's played over 4,000 minutes, 17 goals. And he was named to last year's MLS Next Pro Best 11. The Tokyo, Japan native looks to be all right. Flanagan.
Oh, the Rapids 2 team were on an absolute tear last year. They were top of the league and best team in the league for the entire season. They came up short in the end, losing in the last game. I believe it was to Seattle. But yeah, unbelievable program and had an unbelievable season last year.
"40 minutes gone by here at the lab. Scoreless so far between New Mexico United and Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Tyler Ortega here alongside Chris Hurst. Gorgeous night in Albuquerque as the sun begins to make its way down. Things starting to cool off here. Zico. And the play called back to the foul there on Nanan Hosu.
But so far, it's interesting just looking at some of the stats as the game's going on here. And New Mexico United, lion's share of the possession, 66%, sorry. But it's this area. This is where they've struggled. They've only managed to generate 3 shots, one of which on target. Colorado Switchbacks, 34%, 9 shots. And of those, 3 on target. So dangerous again. We talked earlier about the counter-attack, and it's almost like Switchbacks are okay giving up possession, knowing that they can hit New Mexico United dangerously on the break.
Maples looking to connect with Hurst. These fans, Chris, they let it be known very early that every time Christian Herrera touches the ball, he's gonna be acknowledged. Here's Lacroix. Herrera. So off the restart here. 43rd minute. Maples gets it back from Tambakis. New Mexico, they like to play out of the back like this, Chris, and Switchbacks also like when teams play out of the back for reasons just like that. Now an opportunity here. Damas hits the brakes. Damas has that one cleared by Herbert. That was how they scored their first 2 goals against Lights on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it just shows how comfortable Switchbacks are without the ball. They're almost manipulating New Mexico United into playing into their pressure pockets and able to just pick them off, and then 1, 2, 3 passes later, there's a chance on goal.
Bailey tried to get to that one and failed. Here's Foster now. Cleared away by Abdi Mohammed. Mohammed also did not see any action in the midweek friendly against FC Juarez. He's another guy that's just been logging tons of minutes lately, Chris.
Yeah, another mid-season acquisition that was made more permanent. There's another, that's not Santos, it's Mahoney that time, but again, it's that right side of the Switchbacks back line is getting, it's borderline bullying at this point. That's when New Mexico United are trying to spring every single one of their attacks.
So a 45th minute yellow card to the captain, Matt Mahoney. He's been with Switchbacks since 2021. Prior to that, Sac Republic for a couple years and Philadelphia Union 2 before that. So he goes into the officials' book. Flanagan seems to be all right, walking that one off. And that yellow card brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. When you've been fouled, call Ferguson Law Firm, New Mexico's leading personal injury attorneys for over 40 years. That's going to bring us to the 45-minute mark, which means we are officially in New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time. We've got 2 minutes added on here at the end of the first half. New Mexico Pinon Coffee celebrating 30 years of great coffee since '94. Foster plays that forward for Rael, and foul called.
That was really awkward the way that happened. It was almost like Ahmed's head like snapped back. I'm not sure if he caught an elbow based on the concern there. I'd say an accidental elbow or forearm to the face. Just as I guess we'll call it a coming together.
Getting a great look here on our TLC replay, and yeah, it looks like an errant right arm there from Rael. Seems to have caught Abdi Mohammed. Replays tonight brought to you by TLC Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Defend your home with TLC's service experts. So Rocha will stand over this one. Aiden Rocha, his second season in the league, the 23-year-old. 45 professional appearances under his belt in league play. Spent last season with Loudoun. Scored once in Switchbacks colors, that being his only goal in his USL Championship career. Plays this one short. Here's Foster. That didn't look like Rocha and Foster were on the same page there.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, whatever Rocha thought that Foster was going to do, Foster was definitely not on the same wavelength there.
That's the end of the first 45 here in Albuquerque. It's New Mexico 0, Switchbacks 0. Chris, give us your thoughts on the first half.
Two really, really good teams, kind of cancelling each other out. Two very different styles, counter-attacking versus possession, and Tambakis has really earned his paycheck today so far.
A couple of huge saves for the Greek goalkeeper, Alex Tambakis, keeping this one tied. Your score here at halftime, New Mexico United 0, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC 0, presented by First Financial Credit Union. We'll step aside. We'll be back with some halftime.
There is a place where there are no roads, no conveyances beyond 2 legs, or 4. It's a vast swath of land set aside for adventure, for animals, for nature. We're visitors here in America's first designated wilderness, the Gila.
We don't 3, 1, 2, 3. I said the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, Win on three, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I told the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gon' do it. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm Tulip. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it, I'ma just do it.
Halftime here in Albuquerque at the Lab. It's Pride on the Pitch night. New Mexico United taking on their Western Conference rival, Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. My name's Tyler Ortega, joined as always by Chris Hurst. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight here on ESPN Plus, or if you're watching locally in New Mexico on Estrella TV. We've got plenty to get into here during this halftime break, so let's just go ahead and jump right into it here, Chris, with a look at our scores and schedules from around the league. You can see quite a few games here today. Monterey Bay doubling up Oakland Roots 2-1. Indy 11 losing there to Orange County at home. Indy have been in great form recently. A 2-2 draw between the Miami FC and Loudoun. North Carolina and Pittsburgh also playing to a 0-0 draw. The one that we've been keeping an eye on here in Albuquerque, Chris, between Sac Republic and FC Tulsa. That one scoreless so far. And Lou City, how about this? Down 3-0 to Rhode Island. And a couple more coming up your way. Las Vegas Lights, Memphis, and Phoenix Rising, and Charleston Battery. Now on to our Western Conference standings coming into today. It is getting very tight here in the Western Conference, Chris. 7 points separating first through eighth.
And Oakland Roots now on 17 games. It's one of those anomalies, where with bye weeks and Open Cup runs and things like that, where teams end up having games in hand. But New Mexico United got to be happy sitting pretty at the top there. But again, that -1 goal differential is something that they'll want to put right at some point, because those things tend to even each other out in the process.
On the other side, for the Eastern Conference standings, it's your leaders, Louisville City, as we mentioned, currently down 3-0. Charleston Battery sitting in second. Indy 11, they lost today as well. They're in third. Tampa Bay Rowdies, Detroit City, Birmingham Legion, Loudoun getting into the playoff picture there. And welcome back to the championship, North Carolina FC, just above the playoff line.
And Rhode Island picking up potentially just their second win of the year against Lou City. Who would have seen that coming today?
Absolutely massive there for Rhode Island. On to our news and notes here. The USL and Univision have announced a media partnership that will see 20 matches, including the USL Championship final. That's absolutely incredible. Birmingham Legion celebrate Juneteenth with a special kits. Those are going to be auctioned off to raise funds for the Civil Rights Institute. And New Mexico United doing what they can to support the Ruidoso fire relief efforts. That they've been holding a supply drive over at the team shop. Plenty of supplies have been brought in. You just love to see that type of support from the community, Chris.
Yeah, and obviously that's what New Mexico United, their mantra, right, about being the community club. And obviously it's terrible seeing what's going on around the state, so it's great that everyone's come together to support that.
Now, before we get out of here, look at our Week 15 USL Championship Team of the Week. Michi Galina, the former Switchback striker, getting a spot there. There you see current Switchback striker Malik Foster, your player of the week, Lindo Mfeka from Oakland Roots. Yosuke Hanya also getting the nod in the Team of the Week. We're seeing him play here tonight. Your coach of the week, Gavin Glinton, out of Oakland Roots, former New Mexico United assistant coach for a brief moment. That is halftime. We've got plenty more coming up for you right here at the Lab. We'll step aside. We'll be right back.
Is it somebody's birthday? Dad, come watch us hit this ugly piñata. Dad!
When Hornets show up, so do we. Terminix it.
They're hungry for the women's game. They want to see women's soccer. They want to play women's soccer, and that's what we're building at the USL.
You can see it in my eyes when we walk past. Everybody never lie, won't settle for less. Got me looking to the sky, got me feeling blessed. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest. Burning up inside of my chest. Got this fire burning up inside of my chest.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Going for goal, it's Morris, and it's in! A thing of beauty! Detroit City's ahead!
Back post, it's in! Birmingham have an equalizer in second half stoppage time.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Halftime here at the lab between New Mexico United and Switchbacks FC. Scoreless through 45 minutes. Let's take a look at how we got here, Chris, why don't we, with our first half highlights brought to you by Ferguson Law Firm. We're here for you, and we're here to win. And it was a lot of work to do for Alex Tambakis.
Yeah, first of several goal-saving saves by Tambakis, like last line of defence. And Damas, he was actually pretty quiet. I'd say it's been Malik Foster, who we've talked about more in the first half, but that just shows how dangerous he is. He just brought one pass through, and Tyler Maples just couldn't keep up, basically. But Tambakis was so quick off his line there. One of 3 possible saves of the night.
Yeah, and I'm sure we're going to get a look at those other 2 opportunities. But before we do that, let's take a look at this New Mexico United chance here. It was Chris Gloucester getting down to the end line, putting a cross into the box. Unfortunately, caught there by Christian Herrera.
Yeah, and we talked about it during the first half as well. Chris Gloucester seems like he's playing about 25, 30 yards higher up the field than what he normally does. That left-hand side is where the majority of the New Mexico United offense has come from. But that final ball is what's been lacking in the first half. But you can see there, great touch. He just tries to put it in an area. He just cuts across the ball a little bit and sends it into Herrera's waiting arms.
For New Mexico, they were able to get some stuff generated, but as we mentioned, a lot of it was by way of the switchbacks. This time, Duke Lacroix forcing Tambakis into the save.
Yeah, Tambakis stays big, doesn't go down too early. You can see he doesn't commit too early there. Stays nice and big, and it's his trailing leg, and you can see almost Maples is behind him as well, ready to save if there's anything missed by Tambakis as well. But yeah, there was a couple of chances like that where Mohammed just didn't expect it to ricochet into his path there, but Tambakis quick to react again.
Yeah, switchbacks, as you look at these highlight clips, and here's another one from Malik Foster. 3 kick saves from Tambakis in the opening 45 minutes. He's been absolutely massive.
Yeah, and Foster, second half of the first half, he drifted onto the left-hand side, switched with Hanya, and you can see him just drifting in on his right foot there, just looking for an opportunity to pull the trigger, and that was one of the ones that Tambakis was equal to.
Here are the numbers from the first 45 here. As you alluded to there towards the end of that first half there, Chris, switchbacks have New Mexico tripled up in the shots and shots on target departments, despite New Mexico having the lion's share of possession.
Yeah, possession's great in terms of, being able to move the opponent around, but it's what you do with it. And New Mexico United have kind of struggled once they've got to that final third.
And that's going to do it for our halftime here. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with the second 45 between these 2 Western Conference rivals right here on ESPN+.
Three, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I said the God and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gonna do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
This dance was born here. It became the legacy of my family. 6 hoops, many forms. Eagle, butterfly, water serpent, Mother Earth. When I dance, it brings me home.
Coming to you back live in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Tyler Ortega alongside Chris Hurst. It's New Mexico United taking on Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC. Scoreless through the first half. Second half on deck. We'll get started with that here in just about a minute. And Chris, before we get started with that second half, what adjustments would you make for if you were on either touchline?
I love these open-ended questions, Ty. You know I love those. I think New Mexico United, I think it's been comfortable in possession, but it's what they do with it. The movement ahead of the ball just needs to be a little better, and that final pass, a number of times where they get in good areas in the wide position, they look up and there's no one or maybe one person to aim for in the box. Just too easy for the Switchbacks to defend, and Herrera's obviously great defending his 6-yard box as well. Switchbacks, honestly, they probably keep doing what they're doing. They're conserving energy in terms of just sitting in and picking New Mexico United's pockets, able to get the press right when they need to. And the 2-3 times that they've pressed New Mexico United when they're playing off on the back, they've managed to win it and get the goal very, very quickly.
Hearing there were no subs made at the halftime window there for either side. Obviously, other than the first half substitution that we saw for New Mexico, it was a concussion substitution. It was Harry Swartz making way for A.O. Flanagan. There you see Flanagan with the number 27 for New Mexico. Yosuke Hanya, team of the week last week. So it's going to be New Mexico starting with possession here in this second half. And Alex Tambakis will be defending the goal in front of the supporters section here. The Scotsman gets things underway. So both sides looking to break the deadlock here. It's an early throw in here for New Mexico.
We spent a lot of the first half talking about how quiet Damos has been as well, but only one goal behind him in the standings right now is Greg Hurst, and he's been equally quiet as well. Both defenses doing a great job of shutting down the opposition's main strike threat.
Hurst really likes scoring at home. He's scored in 3 out of 5 home matches so far this season. Damas, the form that he's been in. 7 goals in his last 9.
Just to show how different New Mexico United are at home versus away. At home, scored 9, conceded 4 away from home. scored 8, conceded 14. That's definitely where the issue's been, and a boatload of those came in 2 games.
7 of those 14 coming in 2 games. What a touch there from Flanagan. And now he's making the run. Micheletto here plays it forward and just out of reach for A.O. Flanagan, the 24-year-old out of Baltimore. Thomas turns that one over. Free kick here for Switchbacks. Speedy Williams. You know how fast you have to be to get a nickname Speedy?
I've certainly never been nicknamed that.
I haven't either. That is incredible stuff. Attempt on goal. Tambakis. Another big-time save.
Tambakis there, just not taking any risks there. It's almost like he was caught off guard a little bit. The shot was taken so early, he just couldn't get his feet set. So rather than risking trying to catch it, he just pushes it away for a corner.
Yeah, it's Malik Foster again, testing Alex Tambakis. Tambakis has stood tall this evening.
He's got 2 Switchbacks players, one behind him, one on his toes right now.
Damas with the header. It's just wide of frame.
It was that Chris Gloucester. He knew exactly where he was on the pitch. He was very confident in his angles there. Just ducked out the way just to let it go for a goal kick. But there was almost a collective held breath by everyone in the stadium as he ducked out the way of it.
And what's going to be interesting to see here over this second half, Chris, is how New Mexico decide to attack Matt Mahoney, the captain, the center back for Switchbacks, picking up a yellow card just before the halftime whistle. Rocha plays this one over. Here's Hanya. On loan from Rapids 2.
It's a great step there by Mohamed. You can see early on in the second half here, the Switchbacks, both outside backs, Santos and Real, pushed very, very high. The 2 holding midfielders, Speedy Williams and Rocha, sitting in. It's almost making like a little block back 4 back there with the 2 centre-backs as well, and just allowing all their attacking coming from their width.
Rocha called for the foul there on Micheletto. Rocha, the Maryland native, started his career at Georgetown University. 5 goals, 6 assists in 69 appearances. He's actually selected 60th overall in the 2023 MLS Super Draft by DC United. Spent some time with them in the preseason. Fiesta Auto free kick here for New Mexico. Tony Herbert pokes this forward, finds Abdi Mohamed, touches it over to Rivas. Rivas, his touch goes out of play. Can't watch the match? Turn on at SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access. Tuesdays, you can catch that at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the new SiriusXM app. Gloucester connects with Micheletto. Goal and an assist for Micheletto in the friendly against FC Juarez. All of that coming in a span of about 7 minutes. So he was able to convert from the penalty spot, an area where New Mexico United have frankly struggled this season, Chris.
Is that the penalty spot? Yeah, it's and that start of that second half, obviously, New Mexico United hoping that they can do this similar today, just came out of the locker room just absolutely flying, and FC Juarez had made an entire line change, obviously, as well, but FC Juarez were completely comfortable in the first half, and second half, it was. I mean, the whole game was fun to watch. It was just great seeing that level players. Those League MX players were obviously very, very talented. It was fun to see that. It was fun to see our guys being tested against that as well, like some of the younger guys. See, Jackson Dubois, who signed his contract, his full professional contract this week. He got the start and unfortunately got a red card, but huge learning opportunity for him moving forward, in a game that's a really high-level game.
Let's get another look at this TLC replay. Hosu went down, and there you see it right there, the knee into the back from Zach Zandy. He's going to be feeling that one for a while. Zandy out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. He's in his 4th season with Switchbacks. Missed most of last season with a major injury. It's good to see him back here this evening. 16th matchup between these two clubs. As mentioned at the top of the broadcast, New Mexico have dominated this series in terms of wins. 10 wins. 4 wins for Switchbacks, just 1 draw between the two sides. They met once in the Open Cup. That was back in 2019, where New Mexico were victorious. Switchbacks last season finished in 5th place when it was all said and done, racking up 16 wins, 13 losses. They lost at San Antonio, in the first round, 1-0. Fifth place, ironically, is where they find themselves coming into tonight's match. Rael looks to be feeling that one a little bit. Matt Rael, the 24-year-old, the Philadelphia Union. He's got a number of MLS appearances.
Tony Herbert just getting a yellow card there just for kicking the ball away, just delaying the restart, something that the league really is trying to clamp down on this year. And you see he'd stepped so high, so he just didn't want to risk the ball getting put in behind him.
56th minute yellow card for Tony Herbert.
So the second half started much the same as what the first half did. It's a little disjointed, both teams really, a bunch of mistakes, lots of fouls. Lots of commitment on show, but lacking a little bit of quality right now.
Damas goes down. No interest from the official. It's Corbin May. Switchbacks already up to 12 attempted shots in this match so far. Here's Flanagan. Could New Mexico be onto something? Finds Gloucester in plenty of space. Cross goes in. Had two runners at the back post in Micheletto and Hurst. Neither able to connect on the end of that.
I would love to see how close that actually is, because Chris Gloucester, he played that ball. He could almost took another touch and got to the end line and pulled it back, but he took that first time, put that ball in there. We're going to be able to see a great angle here. Hurst was just off it. First bit of like explosive attacking that we've seen from really either team so far in the second half here.
Throw in here for Switchbacks. Gloucester looking to pick up his first assist for New Mexico. Nearly did so there. It's a great look by our camera crew on that TLC replay we got to see.
It was Chris Gloucester. It was the last home game against Hartford Athletic, where he hit that absolute rocket of a volley from there, arriving late from left back. So again, he's finding his attacking feet the more games he plays.
Abdi Mohammed. Looking to connect with Hosu. It's going to be out for a goal kick.
It's getting to about that time of the game where both coaching staff, they're probably thinking about, do they stick or twist? Do they respect the point, or do they try and push for the winner? I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see Quelle for New Mexico United step onto the field in the next 5-10 minutes here. Maybe for Sergio Rivas, possibly. Maybe switch with Theo Flanagan onto that side, so he's playing off the left side. We'll see. Will the New Mexico United faithful see their favourite Daniel Bruce as well?
Damas sunk really deep into the midfield there.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the Switchbacks if maybe they make a change with Damas as well, because he's a tempting fate for the New Mexico United fans here, but he's struggled to find the game so far. You can see he's just playing off the shoulder. He's looking for that ball in behind all the time right now, but that's meant that he's not really had the ball or been able to influence the game as much as what he would like to.
Long ball looking over the top for Hurst. And Lacroix with some great defending there, able to see the Scotsman off.
Yeah, it was great defending there by Lacroix. Just nudged him. Just a little shoulder to shoulder, just eased him off the ball.
Score updates there for you in the top left corner of your screen. Switchbacks look to be onto something. Here's Switchbacks, Foster. And he sends that just wide of goal. Tambakis visibly frustrated. And Foster getting right back to what he is up to in that first half. So you're going to see a double change here for New Mexico. And you called it, Chris. Eric Quill bringing in two attacking options off the bench. And Daniel Bruce and Mukwele Akale, they're going to replace Greg Hurst and Sergio Rivas. Essentially, almost a like-for-like change there.
Yeah, I think, structurally the teams look, pretty decent. Like I say, it's just that final piece, and, maybe the trickery and Mukwele's so fast the first 2-3 steps. He might make the difference. Stepping off the bench then, obviously we know what Daniel Bruce brings. It's going to be a million miles an hour. Stepping in front of defenders, drawing free kicks, getting the team higher up the field as well. It's just been one of those nights. I think for Greg Hurst, he was just isolated, so it was really hard to get him in the game. And two centre-backs, he occupied them, but they handled them really well.
Zico. Gloucester now. So, of course, New Mexico fans will be keeping an eye on that Tulsa result. As Micheletto goes down, the official waves it off. Replay on.
That's that Micheletto run from deep again. It's so hard to pick up. Do the midfielders track him? Do they pass him on to the centre-backs? Looks like there's been some comments made from the New Mexico United bench regarding that. Is Coach Quill taking one? They don't think that there was any contact with the ball. I don't know if it was Mahoney or Lacroix. Be interested to see a replay of that, because Micheletto certainly felt like, and he's having a word with the referee now as well, he certainly felt like there was a foul there. If there was a foul, I think it was just outside the box. I don't think it was a PK.
So Eric Quill going into the referee's book. New Mexico look to be threatening again. Here's Micheletto. Finds Flanagan. Hosu was looking for Daniel Bruce there. That was how New Mexico walked away with 3 points in their last league home match there, Chris. It was a deflection from Daniel Bruce in front of that goal.
Hey, you see Hosu just driving from deep again. It's almost he was desperately looking for a pass, and when nothing showed up for him, he just decided why not and just kept on going, and then had a decent effort, and Bruce was sniffing around in the box as well.
Here's the substitute. Quelle plays the cross in. Bouncing around and eventually cleared away. Only as far as Hosu. Micheletto has a go! What a save from Christian Herrera.
What a save that was. Unbelievable for such a big guy. He got down quick. Micheletto caught that absolutely sweet. You see, he just takes it so quick. Half volley. That was in all the way. Really, really unbelievable. That could be save of the week right there for the entire league. That was a really, really good save.
6'7" Christian Herrera is listed at, Chris. We were pitch side in the pregame. He is every bit of that and needed every inch of that wingspan to keep that ball out. Here's a Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick. Micheletto sends this one back post, headed in, and eventually headed away. Ball comes back in. Asking for a corner kick are the New Mexico players, and not going to get it.
I'll tell you what, though, the substitutes, Quelle and Bruce, have definitely added a spice to this game and an intensity to this game. New Mexico United are certainly looking the more likely over the last couple of minutes. They've had a couple of their better chances. It's been quiet up until that point, but again, what a save by Herrera to keep it goalless.
Hosu. Here come New Mexico again. Here's the Ivory Coast native. Hosu! Another good save from Herrera. Well done by Gloucester there to win the ball back. It's going to be another throw in here for New Mexico. Black and yellow keeping the pressure on. Quelle. There's that one poked away. Herbert does well to win possession back, and Switchbacks get it right back. Here's Flanagan. Flanagan goes down. Naples still having to mark Ronaldo Damas.
Really well defended that time by Maple. See, he just had a little check of his shoulder as he was at full sprint to see where Damus was, and just used his experience, just again eased him off the ball.
Flanagan had Bruce making the wide open run and just could not connect. That was a great opportunity there for New Mexico. Looking to keep the pressure on. Here's Bruce. Pokes it forward. Quelle now. Cuts it back.
I'll tell you what, for how cagey this game has been, it is just blown wide open right now. And Daniel Bruce just playing off the shoulder of the centre-backs, playing in their blind spots. I really don't think they had any idea he was there waiting for it. Interesting. Maybe this is just Herrera. He might be using... Hopefully he's not hurt. Maybe it's just he senses that the game's slipping away from the Switchbacks a little bit. Hopefully there's nothing too wrong with them, but definitely all the momentum right now is with New Mexico United.
While we've got a moment, fans, let us tell you that eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Let's get another look here on this TLC replay.
It's very similar to the one where it was Micheletto and Hurst at the back post, just from the Gloucester cross. This time it was A.O. Flanagan. Daniel Bruce just wasn't quite there, couldn't quite get there. The outstretched leg. But again, New Mexico United asking all the questions right now.
So Adeta looks to be all right. And as we get back to play, we're hearing our official attendance tonight, brought to you by New Mexico Mutual. Another 10,000 plus here tonight, Chris. 10,176 here at Isotopes Park, or as we like to call it, the Lab. So 20 minutes plus stoppage time left in this one. Is there 3 points in the cards for one of these clubs, or are they going to play to the second ever draw in their long history?
I did warn you that you'd spoke it. You said it before the game, Tyler, didn't you? Speak things into existence.
Well, and you know, all things considered, I think if you're a New Mexico United supporter and you have a look over at the Sac Republic-Tulsa match, that one 95 minutes gone by, still scoreless over there. I'm sure as I was saying, I'm sure as you look to that one, you see Sac Republic drawing. You know, a draw keeps you top of the West here tonight. And a draw against a very informed Switchbacks side, that's not the worst result in the world.
It's not. And honestly, like for a 0-0 game, it's been incredibly entertaining. I think first half, Switchbacks had by far the better chances. And in the second half, especially the last 10, 12, 15 minutes, New Mexico United been asking all the questions, of flashing balls across the bar. What an unbelievable save by Herrera. So yeah, it's, again, 0-0 game, but really entertaining.
So we've got those substitutes for you here. So for Switchbacks, checking in, you're going to have Jonas Fjellberg, Kenzie Ehrman, and Juan Tejada. They're going to be replacing Zach Zandy, Malik Foster, and Ronaldo Damas. So really just a line change here, if you will, for Switchbacks. These three that came in, Fjellberg, Ehrman, and Tejada, they actually started the midweek tie against Lights. They scored twice while they were on the pitch. Ehrman actually opened up the scoring just 6 minutes in against Las Vegas Lights. And so some firepower goes off for James Chambers and brings more firepower right back on. Here's Ehrman. It's the Frenchman. Airman sends that cross in. Ball's back to Williams. Santos now. Well done by Daniel Bruce defensively. Ball goes into the box. Not quite. It's out for a corner. Topo Chico hard seltzer corner kick coming right up. What'd you think about that there little sequence, Chris?
Yeah, obviously it's great defending by Daniel Bruce, but it's not the area of the field where you want your centre forward, is it? But, that's what he's good at. He didn't give up there. But a couple of dangerous moments again. New Mexico United had a lot of the ball, but Switchbacks come straight back, make the changes. Like you say, that the front three basically change out. And a couple of dangerous set pieces right after that.
Here's Rocha. Plays the corner in, dealt with by New Mexico. Herbert slips. New Mexico might be caught out of position, and luckily for them, the offside flag is up. But I'm sure a few held breaths there towards the end of that sequence.
Maples was sliding in. I think he had it covered as well. He actually pulled his leg out of the way, but you can see just a great win in the middle there. But you can just see that New Mexico United, the defenders, they'd almost worked out who their matchups were and were, I wouldn't say comfortable. Malik Foster and Damas, you're never completely comfortable, but they'd at least worked out who was matched up with who. And now that the subs have come in, it's just a little bit of chaos, and it's caused a little bit of uncertainty in the back line for New Mexico.
Heavy challenge there from Rael, stopping the New Mexico United attack. Fiesta Auto free kick coming up here for the black and yellow. So Micheletto and Quelle both standing over this one. We saw in the friendly on Tuesday, Micheletto drop an absolute dime on the back post to Kalen Ryden for a wide open header. Zico also there as well. It's Micheletto delivering. Was looking back post once again, this time for Herbert, and overhits everyone. It's Marco Micheletto, the Italian who grew up in England. Not taking his time. Foul called towards the center circle is Maples. Here for New Mexico, there might be a substitution coming up here momentarily. I think we can expect to see Nicky Hernandez enter the match. So it's been reported to us that Marco Micheletto's time out there on the pitch tonight is coming to an end. Gloucester. As that one cut out, did Gloucester. Quelle plays this over to Abdi Mohammed. Micheletto now. Cuts it back. Micheletto has that one intercepted. It's Jonas Fjellberg. There's that substitution that we had heard of It's going to be Nikki Hernandez coming on for New Mexico. For Nikki Hernandez, this is his 32nd appearance for New Mexico. That's in all competitions. His 29th here in league play since joining the club midway through last season. Throw into Bruce. Here's Quelle. Takes a deflection there.
I like that sub with Nikki Hernandez coming on. Margot Micheletto being really industrious, I'd say, in midfield. Found some really good passes, some really good moments, been busy in there. Again, New Mexico just lacking that final pass, but Hernandez, goal scorer midfielder himself, fresh legs in that position as well. I really like that change.
Nikki Hernandez making his first appearance since the match against Monterey Bay for New Mexico. If you're curious when that was, got to go back to June 2nd. So it's been about 3 weeks since Hernandez has seen some playing time. Hernandez was a second half substitute in the international friendly during the midweek against FC Juarez. Here's Zico. Finds Nikki Hernandez. Here's the substitute. Hernandez looking for Bruce. And the offside flag is up on the Englishman.
You can see what Daniel Bruce was trying to do, though. He's just hanging on the shoulder of the two centre-backs. So hard for them to watch the ball. And know where Daniel Bruce is. And Daniel Bruce picking up a yellow card there. I think he jumped out of the tackle. But obviously, Herrera was selling, and the referee was behind there, I think. But a lovely little clip ball. Defender just gets enough on it. I think Daniel Bruce jumps out of that tackle, but
the officials certainly hearing it from the crowd as the replay played in stadium here.
Both teams have just kind of lost their way a little bit here. There was the frantic energy from New Mexico when they made their initial first couple of subs, and the set pieces from Switchbacks in the second half. But just both teams, like I say, just kind of lost their way.
Rocha, it's a soft little dribbler there to Alex Tambakis. Here's Hernandez. Loses his footing, does Nikki Hernandez. It's going to be a throw in here to the visitors.
That was unfortunate. I think it was a great run. Nikki Hernandez, he was doing exactly what we talked about with Micheletto earlier, where just those runs from deep and so hard to pick up. And Hernandez, he almost deceptively fast as well. He got there, but then as he tried to turn the corner, it was similar as what we saw on Wednesday night with Garcia, where he just stopped on a dime. Nikki Hernandez tried the same thing, but just couldn't quite pull it off. Feet went from under him, and the chance was gone.
Juan Tejada giving chase here to Tony Herbert. Juan Tejada out of Panama has one cap for his country. He's bounced around the league over the past handful of years. It's his second stint with Switchbacks. Looking back post. Offside flag goes up.
There was a couple of meaty challenges in there as well, and Chris Gloucester just at the last second. I think the offside flag might have saved him a little bit there. Hannah just got the wrong side of him, and he had just a little lean in his back there, and there was a question to be answered by the referee. But again, the offside flag meant no issues. But yeah, there was a heavy tackle. I think that was Mohammed on Rocha. Just here where it's just more awkward than anything else. There's the next tackle. This one right here. Yeah, I think it's just another Charlie horse. It looks like he just gets caught. Maybe another shoulder in the quad there.
Still feeling it. I believe it's Rocha down there. Here's Quelle. Flanagan has a go. And he caught it about as good as you absolutely could there, Chris, except just sent it wide.
He almost caught it too good. He wanted to strike across the ball so it came back. And I tell you what, Herrera was completely unsighted. That was on target. I don't think he was going to get there. It was lovely. It's interesting to see how narrow both Quelle and Flanagan, the two wide guys from New Mexico United right now, how narrow they're playing. Just overloading that midfield. And you see how late Herrera reacts. He didn't see it until very, very late.
Yeah, and this is Rocha. We just saw the replay of what happened to him where he took that shoulder into his quad, and now he's going to require some treatment here. 84 minutes gone by at the lab. It's 1 point for both sides in the cards here tonight. So I did some digging here, Chris. The illustrious history between New Mexico United and Switchbacks. 15 meetings so far. This is number 16 here tonight. The one draw these two teams have played against back in 2020. It was at the old Widener Field in front of the 1,000 attendants. This was not one of the ones that you and I called. Went back and looked it up, but it was a 1-1 draw back on August 29th, 2020. That is the lone draw in this series. And so we are going to see a substitution here as Rocha. He will not continue following that collision we saw. He's going to be replaced by Jairo Enriquez. Enriquez out of El Salvador. Enriquez, he's in his third season with Switchbacks. Scored it 6 times last year. Picked up a couple of assists. Almost 1,500 minutes. Year before that, 4 goals, 4 assists in just 15 appearances. Williams able to thread that through. No issue there for Tab Backus. What a touch there from Gloucester, and a great, excellent touch there from Flanagan as well. Gloucester, cross goes in. Dealt with once again by the Switchbacks back line. Ball over the top, looking for Makwele Akale. Finds Christian Herrera instead. Tejada plays this ball forward. Switchbacks onto something. Great challenge there from Abdi Mohammed. Sliding challenge to deal with that cross. The foul now called on Ehrman. It's the Frenchman whistled here in the 87th minute. Fiesta Auto free kick to get us restarted. Here's Bailey. Hernandez finds Flanagan. Cross goes in from Flanagan, dealt with by Mahoney. Here's Abdi Mohammed. Finds Akale. 2 goals in all competitions for Akale this year. Bailey has his pocket picked. Bruce gets it right back. Play on, says the official. Quelle. Hosu looking for Bruce. It's going back the other way.
Mexico United are committing a lot of bodies going forward right now. Have to be careful on the counter as well while they're pushing for the winner.
Zico frustrated there. Receives a push from Yosuke Hanya. The Philippine international Zico Bailey played a couple of games with his country in World Cup qualifying a couple weeks ago. Said it was a great experience. Herbert gets a touch and it deflects there off Enriquez. New Mexico back in possession. Great touch from Hernandez there. Quelle looking for Bruce. Here's Hernandez. Quelle now. Bruce back to Quelle. Quelle. Shot blocked.
Seems like New Mexico United are really the team, if anyone's going to snatch a late winner, it seems like it's going to be New Mexico United. Still wary on the counter-attack, but they are asking all the questions. But Switchbacks defense has stood firm so far. And how many times have New Mexico United hit the first defender when they've tried to put a cross into the box? That'll be the disappointing thing tonight when they reflect on this.
Here's Quelle going through, and Quelle goes down and pointing to the penalty spot. A lifeline extended to New Mexico.
That was interesting play. It was Daniel Bruce. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he holds the ball up like a number 9 so well. And then when it pops back to him and he finds Quelle just running through, Quelle just puts his body there. Looks like LaCroix. I mean, he thinks he didn't. Obviously, he's going to argue his case here, but the referee immediately pointed to the spot, so he saw something and he immediately did. And this is a huge moment for New Mexico United.
Again, it's an area where the black and yellow have struggled this season. Just 1 of 5 from the penalty spot so far in 2024. And it's going to be Talon Maples stepping up to take this one. We saw Micheletto take the penalty in the midweek. He's been subbed off. And so it's Talon Maples.
Herrera just making sure. I'm sure he knows the stats as well. He's just playing a little mind games here as well. But Talon Maples, when defenders take PKs, they tend to not. I'm assuming there won't be much fancy stuff.
Maples does have one goal already for New Mexico. This would be his second. Yellow card issued to Christian Herrera during all of that. Here's Maples. And Maples slots it home. New Mexico takes the lead here in second half stoppage. The second goal of the season for the defender, Talon Maples.
New Mexico United might have just found their new penalty taker. Cool as a cucumber, sends Herrera completely the wrong way and just strokes it into the bottom corner. Listen to the reaction of that crowd as well.
That goal right there brought to you by Enterprise Builders, built on a foundation of trust for over 30 years. Talon Maples showing New Mexico fans, you can trust me.
Honestly, like I say, when defenders take them, I was thinking back to the old days of Julian Dix for West Ham United, who just absolutely smash it. I thought with all the troubles that New Mexico United have had, that maybe he might go that route and just absolutely kill it. But again, so cool, and I can't imagine how fast his heart was beating leading up to taking that PK as well. But just slots it, completely sent Herrera the wrong direction.
Yellow card shown there to Avion Flanagan for the reaction. We are in New Mexico Pinon Coffee stoppage time, celebrating 30 years of great coffee since '94. For Talon Maples, that's his second goal this season, his first since March 16th. That was week 2 in Rhode Island. Switchbacks looking for a late moment of magic as that header goes wide. Time ticking down here at the lab. While we've got a moment, fans, let us tell you about Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select's products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice.
You almost feel bad. It's Tambakis and Herrera both have played their part in a really entertaining game, and the reason why we were goalless until that moment was down to those two guys. It was a display of really good goalkeeping by both keepers tonight, and big moments change big games, and that was a huge moment, and New Mexico United look like they're getting back to winning ways.
Last time these two teams played to a 1-0 result, it was Switchbacks on the winning side of things back on August 27th of 2022. So New Mexico looking to see this one out. Just looking to play this one down into the corner. So a throw in here for New Mexico. And this is exactly what you want to see if you're a New Mexico United supporter, and if this is the exact opposite of what you want to see if you're a Switchbacks fan.
Yeah, still playing in the right part of the field if you're the New Mexico persuasion, right? But here comes the kitchen sink, I believe.
Switchbacks drawing the foul. It was Rael.
Here comes big Herrera up, the goalkeeper, 6'7". He's stepping into the box. This is literally last kick of the game here. Big moment. Can New Mexico United's defense and Tambakis stand tall?
Christian Herrera, the goalkeeper out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. Last chance here for Switchbacks. Here comes the delivery. Back post. Initial header bouncing around. Hosu dribbles it out. The keeper is gone, and Hosu, he's just going to boot this one as far as he can. Bruce giving chase. Lacroix is going to cut it off first. Still no keeper in play. As Herrera now can take his time. Switchbacks still with a moment. Cleared away there by Maples. Quelle finds Bruce. Flag stays down. Bruce. Oh, and actually, it looks like they're going to call.
Interesting. The AR did not put his flag up. I think the fourth official called that.
That was interesting, yeah. The AR was running with his flag held down.
That's a first for me.
New Mexico still with some work to do to see this one out. Switchbacks giving it everything they've got here in the closing moments of this match. Hosu clears it away. That's the full-time whistle at the Lab. The black and yellow remain perfect here at home in front of 10,000 plus. It's a second half stoppage time penalty from the defender, Talon Maples.
Again, big moments change big games. That was a huge game. You could see how much the players put in it. Switchbacks players are dead on their feet, just lying on the field. What a game that was, though.
Talon Maples, your play of the match winner, brought to you by Vara Winery and Distillery for that penalty in the 90th minute plus stoppage time there. It's his second goal in league play this season. As we mentioned, what a match here tonight for the black and yellow. Alex Tambakis, your man of the match. He's also going to take home your save of the match honors. Man of the match brought to you by Pepsi. Save of the match brought to you by Aging and Long-Term Services of New Mexico. Chris, Tambakis really had to earn that clean sheet tonight.
Yeah, first off, we said before the game that he was going to have his work cut out to keep the clean sheet. There's his fourth one of the season, and boy, did he have to work for it. Some amazing saves in the first half.
3 big points for the black and yellow. We'll go ahead, step aside. We'll be back to wrap things up here. Coming to you here live at the Lab in Albuquerque.
On 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I told the guy and he told me keep moving. I'm at the show and they told me keep grooving. If it ain't me, tell me who else gon' do it. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it. I'm at the top of my city, I'm tooling. Bitch said that I be the hottest improving. Every day I see the fruits of improvement. I'ma just do it. I'ma just do it.
With more ways to win, whatever game you play, Sandia Resort Casino. Now more than ever. Close to home, far from ordinary.
Back here at the Lab, the vibes are as high as they've been all night as New Mexico, by way of a second half stoppage time penalty, keep their perfect record intact here at home as they dispatch their Western Conference rivals 1-0. Your final score brought to you by First Financial Credit Union. Chris, let's take a look at how this one unfolded. Despite just the one goal being scored so much action in this 90 minutes.
Yeah, we were talking about how, even though it was a 0-0, it was a hugely entertaining game. Really was. Like, no one can leave here feeling like they've been deprived of entertainment. It was a really open game. First half, I'd say the Switchbacks shaded it. Tambakis, as we just spoke about, completely earned his paycheck tonight. With his legs, of all things. It was three saves with his legs early on in the first half. And then the game kind of switched in the second half. New Mexico United asking more of the questions as well. But yeah, you can see like there was just, that was, I think, the one of maybe two chances that the Switchbacks managed to carve out in the second half. Other than that, it was all New Mexico United asking the questions.
And New Mexico United ultimately getting the job done, as we're going to see here. But you talk about the goalkeeper play here for Alex Tambakis. We have to mention Christian Herrera as well here, Chris. This one, a massive save. This one is save of the week contender.
Yeah, unbelievable save by the kid from Las Cruces, and because he hits it so quickly, Micheletto, and when you hit it on the half volley like that, he had so much power, and 6-7 to get down so quickly, and the ball was behind him when he actually gets his hand to it as well. That's another great save by the big man as well. So again, neither goalkeeper really deserved to be on the losing team tonight, I feel, but again, those big moments change big games.
And this big moments non-stop throughout this one, as both goalkeepers, you mentioned, earning their paycheck. And that's how you got it done if you're a New Mexico United fan. It was Talon Maples converting from the penalty spot, an area where the black and yellow have not been that strong this season, Chris.
Yeah, for sure. And it was one of those where, again, I wonder how his heart rate monitor was in that moment, because everyone knows the troubles that New Mexico have had from the PK spot this year. And he just strokes it calmly, sends the keeper Herrera the wrong way, and just passes it into the back of the net. Great PK.
Huge result tonight for New Mexico. Let's have a look at our full-time stats here. It was Switchbacks. They got out to the early lead in shots. You can see New Mexico even things out when it comes to the shots on target here.
Yeah, again, game of two halves. Switchbacks certainly had the better of the first half, but Tambakis was equal to it. Second half, New Mexico United definitely had more chances created and had the bulk of the possession still as well. And they found a way to break through.
So coming up next for New Mexico, it's a trip out to San Antonio, where they're going to be taking on SAFC that next Saturday, 7 p.m. And then we're right back here on July 3rd. It's our Independence Day celebration. Make sure to get your tickets with a post-game fireworks show. Of course, weather permitting, hop on over to SeatGeek. That is going to do it for us here tonight at the Lab. New Mexico staying atop the Western Conference for another week. For everybody here tonight, part of our broadcast, for Chris Hurst on color, our director Stephen Williams. My name is Tyler Ortega. We'll see you here in a week and a half.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
it right back. Here's Rocha. Looking for